Welcome to Chicago Military Veterans. I'm here with Stacey Dembo, a friend of mine here, and we're going to continue our series talking about different aspects of the veteran community. Stacey has particular expertise with disability. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Stacey.
Thank you for having me.
And we really appreciate your time coming here speaking to the veteran community here, as well as veteran families. So, Stacey, tell our viewers, where are you from originally?
I am from Glenview, Illinois, which is a northern suburb of Chicago. Grew up there and went to college in Georgia, came back to Chicago for law school, and have been here ever since.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
And Stacey, what compelled you to go to law school?
What compelled me to go to law school was really wanting to be an advocate for people who couldn't be advocates for themselves. And that's, I kind of always had in the back of my mind that I wanted to work with people with disabilities, and being a lawyer for people with disabilities seemed like the right fit for me. Also, I really like to argue. So being a lawyer is good for that too.
Sure. Yeah, definitely get in some litigation.
Yeah,
for that matter. So with different aspects of getting into law, going to law school, helping people and being an advocate, what compelled you, what motivated you to be an advocate and help people in the disability field in particular?
That's a great question. I have a disabled sister who is 3 years younger than I am. So basically my whole life, as long as I can remember, my family has dealt with the special issues that come up when someone is disabled. And I saw how my parents, who are, were able to advocate for my sister, how that really helped her quality of life. And I know that not everyone can do that for themselves or their family members, so I was compelled to go into that field to help people with disabilities.
With that, and helping people in the field of disabilities, what are some of the challenges you see individuals seeking or needing help that are disabled? Maybe they've always been disabled their whole life, as well as individuals that maybe as a result of an accident, injury, or illness became disabled. What are some of the challenges you see those individuals face?
Okay, well, what I do specifically is represent people in Social Security disability matters. And so that has its own host of, a host of challenges because the Social Security disability process is complicated for a lay person who's never been through it, doesn't know about it. So that is one challenge. Another challenge is medical treatment, access to good medical care that now should be getting a little bit better with the Affordable Care Act, where people can access medical care. But I've had many clients who they wouldn't be in the circumstances that they're in if they'd been able to get better medical treatment earlier. So that's something that I see a lot. But it's specifically in my practice, I just see how hard it is for people to go through the disability process on their own. And that's where a person who can be a good advocate for you can really help smooth that over.
So with those different challenges and creating value in the Social Security field, is it extremely time consuming? Is it difficult to kind of pull things together? Where do you kind of see yourself, and how does your process work for onboarding and engaging people that are maybe they've been denied, or they feel like maybe I qualify for this, but I have no idea. All I know is I can't work, or I'm unable to work in a certain capacity.
Right. So to answer your first question, it can be a long process. So the first thing anyone should do if they're thinking about applying for disability is filing an application. And that can be done online or over the telephone with Social Security or in their local Social Security office. But just to say something about veterans, Social Security has come up with some new regulations back in the spring of this year. I think it was March 2014 for veterans who have 100% P&T, permanent and total disability rating from the VA, they can get expedited processing. So for the majority of people who are going through the disability process, they're going to apply, and it's going to take probably about 6 months right now in Illinois at least before they're going to hear anything back. The majority of people get denied, so then they need to do an appeal. That's going to take probably another 6 months. The majority of people get denied, then they need to appeal, and that appeal can take a year about. So right there, you're talking about 2 years for most people to get onto disability. So that's why for veterans who have that 100% rating, it's really important that they go to Social Security and identify themselves to Social Security. On Social Security's website, there are some specific guidelines for Social Security has a Wounded Warriors page on their website, and it has some specific guidelines about the key words that you can put in your application so you'll get picked up and they'll recognize you as a 100% P&T. And then you get into an expedited process. So that's a good time saver for people who fall into that category.
Wow. That sounds very intimidating. It's great going through 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm assuming having someone like you on board can give you a lot of peace of mind so you have the best shot at each step of the process.
Well, definitely having a lawyer with you can smooth over the process, not necessarily make it go any faster, but we can definitely help shed some light on what's going on behind the scenes and why it's taking so long. And then, I am able to communicate with Social Security in their language that they understand. And sometimes that's all it takes to get them to understand why someone should be on benefits. It's just kind of like they speak their own language sometimes.
Sure.
So that's one of the main roles I see that I feel that I have as a lawyer. But then the other thing is, as the case goes on, as the disability case goes on, we get into litigation, and then having a lawyer is really going to work to someone's benefit for really just to present evidence in a light that Social Security can understand. Yeah.
Well, Stacey, we really appreciate your time. We really appreciate that you walked us through that process.
Yeah.
If someone is maybe they have a family member that's disabled,
sure.
A relative or someone they know has recently become disabled, they're looking to explore and understand their benefits more or talk to you, what's the best way they can reach you?
They can call me at my office. My telephone number is 312-702-1492. They can email me. My email address is Stacey, Stacey, at dembolaw.com, DEMBOLAW.com. And those are the two best ways to reach me.
If there's someone out there looking to contribute to the success of not necessarily just disabled veterans, but the disabled community here in any way, shape, or form through a nonprofit or fundraising efforts, are you familiar with some that might be of interest to our viewers?
Yeah, there's a lot of great disability advocacy organizations here in Chicago. One organization that I volunteer with is called Equip for Equality, and they definitely take donations and volunteers, and they advocate for people with disabilities across the state in a variety of different areas: special education, voting rights, employment discrimination, housing discrimination. So they do a lot of really good work. And so that's one organization that I can think of right off the top of my head.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for your time, Stacey.
Thanks for having me.
My name is Kit Lancaster with GCG Financial. Thank you for joining us here at Meet Advisors. Thank you to our friends at Mavely for facilitating this interview. We'll look forward to seeing you in the future with more resources, professionals, and veterans here in the Chicagoland area making an impact on our veteran community. Thank you.